focus today is going to be on understanding the principle of self-manifestation. Write that down. If I was to be asked what is my greatest advice to give you as a young man or young woman, it would be this message. People are not looking for you. They are looking for what you are carrying. And if you don't manifest what you are carrying, the world will ignore you. Because you exist doesn't mean you're going to be successful. Because you are on the planet doesn't mean that people are going to notice you. You can live an entire life and not be noticed by humanity. We can bury you in a cemetery and we would never know you were here except for that tombstone. And the reason is because most of the humans on earth live on earth but never manifest themselves. And so the most important goal in your life should be self-manifestation.
Now this is how you know you're not living in your gift. If when the alarm clock goes off in the morning and you ain't happy about it, you ain't doing what you want to do. See, you fighting upstream, you going against what God created you for. If your job makes you sick to go to, if you're unhappy with waking up to go to where you got to go, it's because you ain't living in your gift. Some people are born to be teachers, caregivers, nurses, babysitters. Those are gifts. If you're living in your gift, you cool. It's just if you ain't. If you fry chicken better than everybody else, you should be somewhere frying chicken, man. If you do hair better than everybody else, you should be somewhere doing somebody's hair. Those are gifts. Telling jokes was a gift. They're just not just running, jumping. If you paint, you should be painting. If babysitting is what you really do, you should be babysitting. You doing anything. If you fix cars, you work with your hands. You're supposed to be working with your hands. You do anything else, when that alarm clock go off in the morning, you ain't gonna like it. Now, if you waking up, you going down there, they ain't paying you what you want, you hate your coworkers, you're down there, your boss has no business being your boss. I just never thought that anybody should be in charge of me. I always saw myself free. I just want to come to work. This is all I want to do. Bishop Jake said this. I would hate to die and never do the thing I was born to do. You should look into that before you mess around and check out of here.
Write this down, please. Discontent is the
All of you have this gift. Identify it. It's the thing that you do the absolute best with the least amount of effort. That's what you should be doing. You're wasting your time pursuing your passion. The Bible does not mention passion. It mentions your gift. What are you gifted at, and do that. Stop tripping. You can do that. If you fry chicken better than everybody you know, you ought to be somewhere frying chicken. People make millions of dollars frying chicken. Popeyes, Kentucky Fried Chicken, El Pollo Loco. All they doing is making chicken. Somebody just started making chicken. You know the story of Marie Callender's? Do you know what this woman did, man? She worked for a diner, a greasy spoon diner that was going out of business. It was her only job. She was a single mother. It was her only job. She needed that job, but the diner was going to close. So she went to the owner of the diner and said, let me bake one of my pies. People like my pies, and see if I can help you make a little money. He said, whatever, bring it in. She bought one pie in. They sold every slice. The next day, the people came in and asked for the pie. She had to go home and make another pie. The next day, so many people asked for the pie, she had to make 4 pies. Then people started saying, can I buy my own pie? She made so many pies at this store that she eventually saved her money and put a commercial oven in her house. She done made so many pies, the dude's shop, he ain't selling hamburgers no more. All he's selling is them pies. That's how Marie Callender got started. Marie Callender now has over 120 restaurants. You can't go to no frozen food section without seeing Marie Callender in there. You know what she started with? A pie. One pie.
What you become after today depends on what you do with this message. All of you in this room, I have good news for you. You came to this earth because there's something the earth needed that God hid inside of you. Everything in creation was created with a gift. Everything. God created nothing without a gift in it. It took me 30 years to make that one statement. Research, experience, my own life, studying creation itself. You were brought to this planet, sent here by a greater power to deliver something that we need. God created everything with gifts. In other words, you are a package sent to earth to deliver a gift to your generation. You are obligated to us. You owe me what you are carrying. Whatever you were created to become, you possess now. This is a divine principle. What do you think your gift is? What did I say? Whatever you were created to become, you possess it now. In other words, whatever you were born to do is not ahead of you. It's within you. Because whatever you were destined to become, God has prepared you with it. The Creator never places the future outside of a thing. Your future is not ahead of you. It's actually trapped on the inside. In other words, write this down. You came to planet Earth with your future inside of you. I say it this way: God hid your future in a place where He knew you couldn't miss it. A gift is the inherent capacity to fulfill a function that meets a need in creation. Every word is important here. Inherent means no one can give this to you. You came with this. No prophecy can give you a gift. A prophecy may stir it up. This session is probably one of the most important sessions in your life because you are still stuck looking for a job. You know what's good about gifts? You don't have to look for them.
The dude that cut my hair, I met him in 1986. He cut my hair for $10. I remembered him. When I got on TV, I had hired him. He came out there, he started making $300 a haircut. I paid him $10. He had been with me so many years that he was making $1,500 per haircut. I was getting my hair cut 4 times a week. for television and touring. I paid him $1,500 each time. He was making $6,000 a week. You know what he was doing? Cutting hair. That same haircut I paid $10 for in '87. This dude was cutting it now for me for $1,500. I cut my hair off, but then let me tell you what he did. I paid him a chunk of money for being with me all these years. Gave him a severance pay. Told him good luck. Guess what this dude got now? He got 4 salons and he owned 2 barber colleges. You know what this dude make now? $3.6 million a year. You know what he do? He cut hair. He don't do nothing else. That's his gift. Friend of mine we grew up with. All he did was cut grass. He had a single blade lawnmower that he pushed. He was so good at it, he could raise the blades up and lower them. He could cut patterns in your grass. We little, I'm going, hey man, we going swimming. Now I got cut this. Laugh at him all the time. Well, let me tell you what we laughing at now. He got a landscaping company in Cleveland. You know how much this boy making? $4 million a year. You know what he do? He cut grass. He got 38 trucks. He got all the contracts in the city, malls, corporations. And when it snow outside, he do such a good job cutting the grass, he put plows on the front of his trucks, and he got all the snow removal contracts. This boy making $4 million a year, and you know what he do? He cut grass.
If you study all of our culture, all of our cultures, look at our cultures, they are built on employment. Employment destroys your gift. It stops you even from thinking about it. We have been damaged greatly by our educational systems because they have actually been conditioning us to believe that we are only here to find a job, pay some bills, and die. Matter of fact, everything your parents tell you has to do with a job. Most of us, based on our culture, have been taught to go and find your future. And so we are conditioned just to get an education, to get a job, and then work in a place we hate for 45 years. And then they give us a clock to go home with, to sit in a rocking chair to watch the rest of our time fade away. This is what they call retirement. It means you're tired. So you are retired, double tiredness. Do not go to school, young people, to find a gift. Single woman, I promise you, you'll never find your gift in education. So make a note of this. A gift can never be learned. It can only be refined. That's why you can go to college and get a PhD and still be broke. Because education is not a gift. You can actually go to school and spend a lot of money going through all kinds of universities and never refine your gift because you took the wrong courses. Most people, God forbid, in this room went to college and studied the wrong thing because your decision to choose a certain area of study was motivated more by economic potential than personal fulfillment. And so now you are depressed because you are not fulfilling your gift. Well educated and still trying to pay a phone. Even your career may not be your gift, is what I'm saying. And God may send this message to you right now to tell you it's time to change your career into your call.
I was speaking at a school once. I was talking to the students. The principal was mortified with my message because I was telling the truth. I was telling the kids, your education is important, but your education is not the most important thing in your life. I'm sorry, it's not. Your dream is the most important thing in this world. It tops your education. Your dreams dwarf your education. I said, and the principal came up on the stage while I was speaking, don't ever say that to my school again. Well, I'm just telling you, dog. You can save your kids a lot of pain if you ever talk to them about their dreams. You got to talk to young people about their dreams. See, it's not your education. The Bible don't even mention education. It ain't even in there. The Bible says a man without a dream or vision shall perish. If you talk to kids about their dreams, your dreams can spur you to get the education. But if you never find out what a child is dreaming about, you can't hold their attention. It's the dream, man. If you got a kid that want to be an airplane pilot, you can quit talking to him about education. Talk to him about being a pilot. how great it is, where he'll be able to fly. Then he'll do math, he'll do engineering, he'll go to science, because he wants to be a pilot. It's the dream that's the biggest thing. People killing me, man, with this education. I ain't knocking education, but you can make it without education. I ain't got one. You know how many people got degrees, ain't working nowhere. Now, if you want to be a doctor, lawyer, dentist, stuff like that, you got to go get education. We're not talking about that. But you keep going to get all these pieces of paper hang on your wall. You got one degree, you ain't make it with that.
Your life will never be a straight path. I began at Fordham University as a pre-med student. I took a course called cardiac morphogenesis. I couldn't read it, I couldn't say it, I sure couldn't pass it. So then I decided to go into pre-law, then journalism. And with no academic focus, my grades took off in their own direction. I was a 1.8 GPA one semester, and the university very politely suggested that it might be better to take some time off. I was 20 years old, I was at my lowest point. And then one day, March 27th, 1975, I was helping my mother in her beauty shop. There was this older woman who was considered one of the elders in the town, and I didn't know her personally, but I was looking in the mirror, and every time I looked at the mirror, I could see her. She was staring at me. She said something I'll never forget. She said, "Young boy, I have a prophecy, a spiritual prophecy." She said, "You are going to travel the world and speak to millions of people." Now, mind you, I'm 20 years old, I'm flunked out of school. So when I got back to Fordham that fall, I got in, I changed my major once again for the last time. And in the years that followed, just as that woman prophesied, I have traveled the world and I have spoken to millions of people through my movies. I found that nothing in life is worthwhile unless you take risks. Nothing.
2 Corinthians chapter 4, verse 7, read. But we have this treasure. Where is it hidden? In jars of clay, earthen vessels, your body. To do what? To show forth that this all-surpassing power is from God and not from us. Lord have mercy. Because I put that stuff inside of you. What are you supposed to do with it? Show it forth. Manifest yourself. And what happens afterwards? It says, and we are hard pressed on every side, but not crushed. We are perplexed sometimes, but not in despair. In other words, no matter what you go through, the gift is still there. In despair, I lost my house. God said, but you still got the gift. The bank took back the car. I still got the gift. My girlfriend left me, but I still got the gift. Write this point down, please. The gift is the source of value to the created thing. Let me say it again. Your gift is the source of your value. Your value comes from your gift. So if you never find your gift, you will never be valuable to us. And your value determines how much you make in life. You get paid for the value you bring to the earth. Don't pursue money. Whatever gives you value is the source of your wealth. And sometimes people try to make money from their gift too early. My advice is give it away free. Because when you give your gift away free, it gets exposed. Even a drug dealer knows about this. They give you the first one free. You must be serving your gift. How many years have I taught? I mean, from I was 15 years old, the vision is teaching the word of God, never got a cent. And someone gives me $10,000 a day for speaking, you get jealous of me. I gave it away free for 15 years. You're trying to get paid, you even ain't there for 15 hours. Give it away free. Serve your gift. Volunteer.
I was 27 years old, October 8th, 1985, Hilarity's Comedy Club. Walked in the comedy club, first time in my life, won amateur night, $50. Drove 40 minutes home, cried all the way home. This girl I rode with, she said, "Why you crying? It ain't but $50. You don't even understand. I'm born." She said, "What you mean you born?" I said, I know what I'm gonna do the rest of my life. She said, "You ain't win but $50. No, I've been praying my whole life, God, what is it? My life gotta be more than this. I won that comedy competition. I went to work October 9th, the next morning, and quit my job. That decision cost me everything I had. I lost everything. I lost my family. I lost friends. I lost everything. I became homeless. I lived in a car for 3 years. But I just saw this, I saw this vision. I just pursued it. I said, wow, that's it. You have to take chances in life. If you don't take chances in life, you'll never have the life God has for you. Life is about risk. If you play it safe, you won't have much of a life.
Remember this.
Life is risk. It takes courage to pursue your dream. I just did it. It cost me everything. God is very good, man, when he sees you take a leap of faith.
He will supply what you need.
He supplies you everything you need. Now, it's going to cost you something, but most people are not willing to pay what it costs to go after your dream, because you're going to have to hurt a little bit. And most people don't like being uncomfortable. If you don't want to be uncomfortable, please do not pursue success, because success is very uncomfortable. I learned to be comfortable being uncomfortable. If you can get that in your head, everything you've ever gone through, God got you through it. You didn't even realize it. He just got you through it. You can't name one thing he didn't pull you through. Well, I lost my mother. I'm still grieving over that. I lost my mama 21 years ago. I still grieve over it, but I'm here. You know, I got through it. You're going to get through it. But you got to take chance in life, man. Can't play it safe, y'all. You got to jump. You got to go for it.
You will fail at some point in your life. Accept it. You will lose. You will embarrass yourself. You will suck at something. Embrace it, because it's inevitable. And I should know. In the acting business, you fail all the time. Early on in my career, I auditioned for a part in a Broadway musical. Perfect role for me, I thought, except for the fact that I can't sing. I didn't get the job. But here's the thing. I didn't quit. I didn't fall back. So you will catch a break, and I did catch a break. If you don't fail, you're not even trying. To get something you never had, you have to do something you never did. Imagine you're on your deathbed, and standing around your deathbed are the ghosts representing your unfulfilled potential, the ghost of the ideas you never acted on, the ghost of the talents you didn't use, and they're standing around your bed, angry, disappointed, and upset. They say, we came to you could have brought us to life, and now we have to go to the grave together. So you got to get out there, you got to give it everything you got, whether it's your time, your talent, your prayers, or your treasures. The question is, what are you going to do with what you have? I'm not talking about how much you have. Whatever your gift is, what are you going to do?
I teach you so much. I want you to be great people. 10 keys to success. How to release your purpose. Number 1, you must first understand your destiny. Number 2, you must have a vision of your gift. See the finished product. Number 3, believe you have the ability to fulfill it. Number 4, you must live by the laws that protect that gift. We call them principles. Number 5, you must have a plan laid out to go toward your gift.
Inspiring habits.
Number 6, you must have the right people around you, because there's some gift killers. Gift killers. There's some folks who are suffocators. Because they fail, they want you to fail. They ain't going nowhere, and they want to take you with them. You got to be careful with the people you have in your life. And number 8, persistence. You got to handle the pressure to go after your gift, because you live in a culture that doesn't want you to manifest your gift. The beautiful thing is, when you manifest it, then all of a sudden they become your friend, because they want to eat your gift. Number 9, you must persevere to bring forth your gift, because you will always have resistance and opposition, discouragement, failures, but you got to keep coming back. And number 10, you must pray over your gift every day. Pray to the one who gave it to you to give you wisdom to manifest it. I pray every day about my gift. You pray for your purpose. You don't pray for food. You don't pray for clothing. You want to pray for your role in God's kingdom, your delivery system, what you're supposed to bring to this thing. That's what you pray for. Oh God, show me how to do it. Revive it, refine it, define it for me. Keep it fresh, Lord. Let me see this purpose. That's what I pray for.
The best things in life is on the other side of fear. It's on the other side of fear. But fear freezes people, man. The fear of failure freezes people. Suppose I don't do it. If you don't do it, you might not make it. That's a for sure. So that's just my opinion. That's probably not what most people share, but your dream, man, it's what you dream about. You got to dream about something so big that it dwarfs all your fears. The way you overcome fear is with your dream. You got to make your dream so big that nothing matters except that dream. You're willing to do everything that's necessary.
Nelson Mandela said, "There is no passion to be found playing small and settling for a life that's less than the one you're capable of living." Because taking risk is not just about going for a job.
To earth to release your hidden potential. Hold a mango seed in your hand and see a mango. That's what vision is. You see the end result. Do that with your life. Submit to the right environment. Even though you see the mango in the seed, you got to plant that seed in the ground and give it water and give it nutrients. Your greatness could be destroyed by a wrong environment. The books you read, the people you are with, the places you go, the church you attend, all relate to what you become. Feed on the right materials. When you put that fertilizer on that seed gets happy. What are you fertilizing your life with? You spend 5 hours watching LMN. I mean, what are you feeding your vision? What are you feeding your gift? You go out with this in different clubs and all this stuff. God is saying, what are you doing? What are you feeding your gift? Give your gift time to develop. You'll never get mangoes from a mango seed in a day. Go through the process. Persist under pressure. When you plant that seed in the ground, all the pressure, the earth is on top of that. But the pressure is important for the seed. The pressure of your life tests the reality of your gift. Whatever stops you is how strong you are.
Never be discouraged. Never hold back. Never give everything you got. And when you fall throughout life, remember this: fall forward.
Your gift is supposed to produce more seed. You should be mentoring people all the time to become greater than you. Produce others who will do great things. Serve your gift to the world. Then you are a great seed. Fish came from the water, they got to stay attached. You came out of God. Don't try to fulfill your gift without God.
Hello, good evening all. Good evening. You're welcome to today's market review. Welcome to today's market review. Sorry about the intermittent break. It was as a result of my major network. My major internet service was fluctuating, so I had to switch to my backup now. So I welcome everybody. Everybody is on mute. You're welcome to, everybody is on mute to avoid interference of background noise. If you have any question, I would appreciate if you could type the question in the chat box and I would gladly attend to it. So without wasting much of your time, let's start up. Once again, you're welcome to market review for the 11th of July 2019 with Great White FX. So before we start, I would like you all to go with this. Forex trading, this disclaimer. If you have any questions, this is my Telegram handle and this is my Twitter handle. You can reach across to me on those. So let's start off with our charts. As always, we'll go through the calendar, fundamental calendar, to find out what we have programmed tomorrow. So for tomorrow, what we have is by 1:30 USDCAD, also core CPI coming in at 1:30. Well, this Fed chairman testifying at 3 p.m. Let's see where he's going to testify at. Semi-annual monetary policy report before the Senate Banking Committee. Well, it might cause a little bit of fireworks, but that aside, let's go over to our chart. So looking at our charts for today, looking at the dollar index. The dollar index, for those of you who follow me up, The dollar index is reacting from this area. That's where the dollar index got into and it's reacting from it. But now the question is this. This is a bearish close, a bearish engulfing on the daily, but it is sitting above the 13 moving and the 50. This is the 55 EMA on the daily. This moving average sometimes can give a little bounce, to price. So with this, what do? We're going to our intraday charts. Going to our intraday charts. 1 minute, please. I need to take care of something. Okay. Can you all hear me clearly? If you can hear me clearly, please type in yes. If you can hear me clearly, please type in yes. If you can hear me clearly, please type in yes. So, okay, so let's continue. So now let's go over to the gold, the dollar index chart. So as you can see, we've marked up this area. So now the dollar index is sitting above a bit of support structure here. Marked up this area since Sunday evening. If it runs into this area, it might have a bit of a problem, and that just played out. So now, what do we do with this information? Very simple. Where it's sitting on, it's prior support. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get rid of this top area, then leave this lower area. So we'll be waiting to see what happens tomorrow. You may see a bounce. Let me go down to my 1 hour. You may see a bounce. But if you see a bounce on this pair, his first level of structure will be coming in at this area. His first level of structure will be coming in at this area. That's here. This area. So that's on the lower time frame. So if this area holds tomorrow, if it holds as resistance tomorrow, then we might see the dollar index go down. So this is what we're expecting. Excuse me, get rid of this. So this is what we're expecting tomorrow, something like this. A move up. If this place holds as resistance, then we may see it move lower. So those are the possible move for tomorrow. So that's it for the dollar index. Because it's sitting at a prior support structure, and that happens to be the daily 55 EMA, you may see a bit of a bounce tomorrow. So that aside, let's go over to our next pair, which is gold. So looking at gold, gold closed bullish today. Let's go down to our intraday chart. Looking at our intraday chart, gold held this support structure, and from there it moved up. This area served as a support structure, so this area has been taken out. So now what do I do with this gold? Let me go down to the 4 hour. Let me get a clearer view of this on the 4 hour. So this is what we have on gold on the 4 hour. I need to readjust this. To move up a bit. Need to readjust this to move up a bit. Then I go down to the 1 hour chart. If you ask me, I would say that gold is coming up to this area first. This area. So I might as well move this up. Because for now, gold is bullish. It's bullish. On his way up, he took out this structure, used it as break a bar, that's a break and retest, and he's moving up. He's moving up into this area. Then we have this little area here. Then before this major area here, we have this major area. Let me work on this because let me reduce this to size on the 1 hour so that I get it properly. I have this area here. So this place, I'll turn it to resistance. Okay, this is my zone. This is the zone. So two things. Price may, let me see. This area has been taken out. This area has been taken out. I need to edit some of my zones. This area has been taken out. This area is now standing. This area is standing now. No. Yeah, I think I should start from somewhere here. I can't say it, but I believe it should be somewhere here. Sometimes it's easy to spot, sometimes it's not easy. So now this is what we have. As we can see, this area has served as support. This area has been taken out. So what I normally do with areas taken out is I change their color, so I know this area has been taken out. So now what do we have? Gold might have a bit of a resistance at this level. Should it run into this level? Should it run into this level and this level holds as resistance, it may cause it to come down. But should it break above this level, then it may pull back into this area, then move higher. So this is what we have. Excuse me, sorry about this. So this is what we might see on gold tomorrow. So should this area hold as resistance, that's this area is between 1420.92 to 1423.76. Should it hold as resistance, gold may come down. Or should gold break above it? If it should have a bar, that's a break and retest, it may move higher. But for now, gold is bullish. You should be looking for positions to buy because it took out this area, and also there's an area here that gold took out. So those are areas that signify that it is running, breaking out to the top side. So that's it for gold. The next pair we'll be looking at is USDCHF. So looking at the USDCHF, as you can see, it has closed as this is a bearish engulfing pattern, which hinges also on a evening star pattern. But the challenge there is this daily 13 moving average. The daily 13 moving average, as you can see, this is what happened here. So, and this moving average value is at 98.82. That's somewhere here. So, knowing that, we go over to our intraday chart and pull up our USDCHF chart. Looking at our USDCHF chart, what do we have here? Very simple. Sorry about this. Maybe as a new setup. So looking at this, price is sitting above a structure here. That's this previous high. I'm looking at it on the 1 hour chart. Price is sitting above this structure. So now this area has been taken out. So what do? Let me get rid of this. Let me get rid of this. So now let me note this so I don't forget that this area has been picking up. Let's note that I do not forget. So now this is what might likely happen. Should price go back above this zone? Should price go back above this zone? Then price to come into this area. This doesn't seem to be changing. Oh well. Seems like trading view is having a bit of a problem this evening. This is supposed to change. So I have resistance here. So this place is the first levels of resistance. As you can see, price is having a bit of a problem here. So we may see a bounce up. I may see a bit of a bounce up either to this area or even higher. Let me get rid of this also so that I can properly pick my level up here. So so we're having a bit of a challenge this evening in my chat. I have a zone up here. Zone up here. Try to change this. Oh, color was not changing. Yes, this is what I was trying to do before. I don't know what the problem was. Yes, this is what I was trying to do. So these two zones are still very active. So here, this area will turn it into resistance, So our first resistance comes in at 98.99. The second resistance comes in at 99.11. Then the third resistance zone comes in between 99.17 to 99.27, and the fourth one comes up here. So you might be expecting a move into any of these areas. If price gets rejected from here, then it may drop down into this area. So we may see a bit of a bounce tomorrow before it drops, but I can't see. The market decides what it's going to do. So the next pair is, so let me mark this up. So you might see a move down to this area and the bounce up, or you might see a straight move into this area and the move lower. So those are the possible outcomes for price tomorrow. And as you can see, price is sitting above. This is the 200 moving average on the 1 hour. So it might act as a bit of support to price. So the next pair we'll be moving over to is the EURUSD. So let's look at the EURUSD. Again, at the EURUSD, if you notice, the EURUSD has an inverse shape of what the USDCHF has. But now, this is a bullish engulfing. And if you look at it, it is moving out of this support zone. It's the support zone here. So now, but the challenge is, it is below the daily 13 and the daily 55. They may cause it to drop a bit. So looking at that, go over to our chart. So this is what we expect. This area has been taken out, so I'll change the color of this area to a broken zone. Let's just start again. Oh, well. It's one of those things. acting up now. Trying to change it. Yes, that's changed. Sure. So now price is at this resistance area. If you notice, this area served as a resistance when price ran into it. Price found support at this joint, at this area here. So what I'm going to do is let me select this, move this a bit forward, lock it in, move this a bit forward, move the lower end forward. This area being taken out, this area being taken out signifies that price is already in a bullish move. Price is already in a bullish move. So what we'll be looking for is opportunity to buy. So this is what might most likely happen with this pair. It might pull back a bit into this zone, or maybe even try going lower, as might even try to go this way, and maybe from here go back up, or it may run up from this point, run up into here, then drop down here, then move back up. These are the possible outplays for this pair, because if you look at him on the daily view, it's a bearish, bullish engulfing. So there might be a possibility that it may correct a bit of it, because if you remember, the dollar index is sitting on support. So there might be a bounce in the opposite direction. So the next pair I'll be looking at is the GBPUSD. Wow. So for those of you who remember, those of you who I was with on Sunday, I was telling you that, this new trading view system. I was telling you that the GBPUSD is sitting on a weekly structure. And as you can see, the daily candle has closed. This is what you will call, who can help me out with what this candle is called? Just type it in. What do we call this candle? This candle formation for today, what do we call it? Can someone help me out with that? Just type it in into the chat box. Hello? Can someone help me with what candle pattern is this we're looking at? It's not a harami. It's not a harami. Nice try, but it's not a harami. Can I get someone else? Anybody else? Okay. Since nobody else is willing to try. It's not a tweezer button. It looks like, but there's one thing with tweezer buttons. The candle bodies are always the same size. So this is not a tweezer button. Anybody else? Anybody else? So that we move on. Anybody else? Tweezer buttons, the bodies are always the same size and shape. Somebody says an inside bar. No, it's not an inside bar. You guys are guessing. This is a dark cloud cover. It's a dark cloud cover. A dark cloud cover, the preceding candle has to close more than 50% into the body, into the range of the prior candle. This is a bearish candle. This bullish candle is a bearish candle. This bullish candle closed more than 50% into the body of this candle. So this is a bullish reversal pattern. It's called a dark cloud cover. So you guys need to take note of that. So this candle pattern has played out. You've not heard of that before? Well, study a bit more. Study a bit more, you'll find it out. Just Google dark cloud cover. The opposite of it is what you call a bullish piercing pattern, as the bullish version of it. So that aside, we have a bullish pattern already in play. So I go over to my chart for the GBPUSD. Looking at the GBPUSD, it's currently having a bit of some issues here. So what might we most likely see? Well, I have something here. I have something here. I have something here. It's a sort of structure at that point. A sort of structure at this point. Structure at this point. So, and now price is sitting above this area here. So this is what might most likely happen. Given that there is a low here, the market has a tendency of spiking people out on GBP pairs. So you might see something like this, and then a move back up. A move back up. So, or they may just run up straight. They may just run up straight. They may just try to run up straight because there is structure here. And if you move over to the daily pattern, if you move over to the daily pattern, that's to the daily chart, this swing low here, that's what is giving price a bit of a problem. As you can see, price today was not able to close above 1.25 USD. So that might cause it to drop a bit tomorrow before moving higher. So that is what you need to be aware of on that pair. So this is what we have on this pair. So if we move down so that you know where this level is coming from, here. So if we move back down to our 1 hour chart, if we move back down to our 1 hour chart, well, I have a bit of a structure at this area. I have a bit of a structure at this area. So let me mark this out. So I have structure within this box. So if price takes out this area, excuse me, then you know it will be coming up towards this area, then before this area. So there are two areas price might most likely come into. So we're looking at price either dropping because of where it is, this resistance here, that resistance is at 1.2506. It might from there drop a bit. As you can see, price is already consolidating here. So they may drop a bit, gain momentum before moving back up. As you can see, this 1.2489 gave a bit of a challenge before price broke above it. So we might see a bit of a pullback, then a move higher. That's it for the GBPUSD. But for now, the GBPUSD has a bullish bias to the upside. It has a bullish bias to the upside for now. So the next pair we'll be looking at is EURGBP. So let me see this. Okay. Yes, this was the chart I marked up. This was the weekly structure, and that's where price is moving out from. Now, the next pair we'll be looking at is the EURGBP. EURGBP is a very notorious pair. It knows how to frustrate people. As you can see, what did it do? It gave people the impression that the market was ready to drop. And what did they do? They came to the 13 and they moved up. So I have a feeling that this EURGBP might be heading up towards this area. Maybe, maybe not. So let me go into my intraday chart and see what I have on EURGBP. So looking at this pair for now, Sorry about that. The internet connection also on my side is being a bit funny. I'm getting told that my internet connection is unstable and I'm using my backup. My major is just nothing. So looking at this pair, let's go over to the 4 hour. Let's go over to the 4 hour. Let's get a view of it. Let's get a clearer view of the 4 hour. Yes. I have a feeling, I may be wrong, but I seem to have a feeling that the EURGBP might want to spike this high tomorrow. If possible, test this area before dropping. I have a feeling that might be their intention tomorrow. EURGBP it just is nature. It can be very, very funny. So you just need to know that about it. It's not a pair you trade straight up. It can be very, very mischievous at times. So that's what you just need to know about this pair. So for now, this is a support structure. That is coming in at 89.92 to 89.82. This is giving him support. So I have a feeling it may want to spike into this area tomorrow because it's not yet ready to go down. So I have a feeling it may want to do this tomorrow or drop into here and rally up or drop from here tomorrow. And as you know, the EURGBP has an effect on the GBP crosses. So if he should rally up, then the anticipated drop correction we might see on GBPUSD might play out tomorrow. So for now, this EURGBP is still tilting to the top side. There is no sign of weakness for now. The only sign of weakness on this pair will come if you have a close below 89.82. Once you get the close below here, then we know that this man might be on his way down. But for now, it's still very, very bullish. The next pair we'll be looking at is AUDUSD. So looking at the AUDUSD, this is another dark cloud cover. As you can see, closed, and this is very strong. If you notice, he went very, you can see where from here he moved back up. The only thing giving him a bit of a problem is this daily 30. That's just the issue, a bit of an issue now. So knowing that, let's go into our intraday chart. So looking at our intraday chart now on this pair is below a resistance structure. So two options. Either he breaks above this resistance structure or he drops to the downside. That's just it on this pair. Although I have a little structure area here, I have a little structure area in this area. So let's see how tomorrow plays out. This is not one of my favorite pairs, so I just don't play into it most of the time. So as you can see, this area is already giving resistance. So we may see something like this tomorrow and they move into this area. But should price break below this structure here, then it may go down lower to either this level here, or I come down to this level or this area here. So either of these areas is where he might just run down. That's where he might run down. So that's just it for this pair. For now, he has a bullish bias. He took out the structure here and he has taken out the structure here, but he's below this area. If he can't go back above here, he close below here, and this zone will see him drop lower. So that's it for AUDUSD. The next pair we'll be looking at is the GBPCHF. Well, looking at the GBPCHF on the daily, it closed as I'm gonna call this a kind of a doji stroke hammer, but of this area of support for some days. Price has always held this level. If you switch to your line chart, you'll see it. If you switch to your line chart, you'll see it clearly. Price has never closed below 1.2371 for days. They've always made sure they don't close below that level. So knowing that, we go over into our GBPCHF intraday chart. So now, what do we have here? First, I need to get rid of this so I can see clearly. This is no longer being respected. Kind of like being respected, but I think I'll get rid of it. So this is what we have here. This is what we have on this pair. We have this major support structure and this resistance here. So if price dips into here, you might see buyers coming from this area to move price higher. Let me see. Let me get this sorted out well on the lower time frame. Somewhere here. Yes. Then work on this to bring it down a bit. Good. So should price dip down into this area, it may bounce up towards this area. But should price dip up from here into this area, it might meet a bit of resistance and drop back down. But remember, the EURGBP is still pointing up. So that may cause, if it should decide to spike above tomorrow, it might force this GBPCHF to drop down towards this his support structure. The GBPCHF does not have a very convincing bullish close on his day, so it is still suspect for now. The next pair we'll be looking at is the USDJPY. Looking at the USDJPY, seems that price today ran into the daily 55 moving average, 55 EMA, and has closed as a bearish engulfing. This is a very strong bearish engulfing. As you can see, it covered the range of 2 prior days, and this could pass for a sort of an evening star formation. This could pass for a sort of an evening star formation. So knowing this, we'll go over to our USDJPY intraday chart. You can see price is sitting above this structure. So if it doesn't break this, we may see a move up. We might see a bounce from here towards this area. And if this area holds, then you may see it break here. But should this trend line break, should price go below this trend line, you need to see a break and retest before you engage a sell position. So that's just it, because this place may cause price to bounce tomorrow, may cause it to bounce overnight. So the next pair we'll be looking at is the Euro Yen. Well, the Euro Yen is closed with a very it's what you call a shooting star or a pin bar. But the storyline there is that he's closing above the 13. This 13 EMA, yes, 13 EMA of the daily might act as support, might give him a bit of support. So knowing that, I go into my intraday chart to find out what I have. You can see price ran into this structure here and dropped. So now this is the storyline. I need to mark up this area. I have a bit of a structure here. Structure is not very clear. Structure is not very clear. That's the problem. I think TradingView did some changes where if you select the tool, you can use that tool multiple times before you unselect. It's nice, but it seems to be kind of like funny in a way. Just like holding sellotape and the sellotape is refusing to leave your hands. So now this is what we have here on this pair. So two things. This is support structure. The support structure is between 12194 to 12185. If this area holds, then you might see price move up. So, and where will he most likely be moving up to? Well, I have structure here. I have that structure. What's the problem? I have structure here. I have structure in this area. So this seems to be it. Either it bounces here. If it drops in here and bounces, you may see price move up. You may see price move up towards the top side. So for now, this one is in a range. You just need to see him move down to either of the extremes before you take a trade entry. But for now, caution is the watchword. Although he still has a bit of a bearish bias, but you just need to be a bit careful. So the next pair we'll be looking at is the Euro Pound Yen. Looking at the Pound Yen, its daily close not so convincing. Not so convincing. Let's see what we have on the intraday. Well. This area has been disrespected. Let me get rid of it. This area has been disrespected, but this area held. You can see. So where do I have my structure? I have my structure somewhere here. This is my first line of defense before this upper area. Then I have this area down here. Yeah. Multiple tests of this structure. If price goes up, price has a tendency to break through here. Maybe not today, maybe not tomorrow, but that might happen sometime in the future. So let me work on this. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So I have this area, and somewhere down here. So that's just it. If he runs into here, he might find a bit of resistance, which might cause him to go down. Because if you look at the close on the daily, it's not very convincing. It's just not very, very, very convincing. The next pair we'll be looking at is the Euro AUD. Looking at the Euro AUD on the daily, closed as a pin bar. Closed as a pin bar. So let's look at it intraday to see if we can make so. What did this man do? Ran up into this structure area and drop. Well, yes, this structure has been taken out. This structure has been taken out. So let me get rid of this, get rid of this. I'm not supposed to get rid of it. I'm supposed to use it again. But let me just get rid of it. So what do we have now? This man is in a downtrend. The best place to wait for yourself is at this area. Just wait for him here. But this guy has a tendency to be a bit obstinate at times. So be prepared to see probably a spike above here and a drop. So that's just what may happen tomorrow. This guy has a tendency at times to be a bit obstinate. This structure was taken at. So I think I'm looking at structure here. I think I'm looking at structure at this area. Yes. Looking at structure at this area. The structure here. That's where the market is respecting that. Let me get rid of it. This, no, I get rid of it. I'll use it here. Oh, Let's move this, drop it down here. So this is what we have. Note there is support here. Let me make this like thick. There is support structure here. So let's not forget that there's support structure here. So we might see this one spike down here, move back up. But for this sell, I would advise you wait for price to come back up here. If it comes back up here and gives you a bullish, bearish signal, you take the short trade. That will be the most optimal place to sell it from. So the next pair we'll be looking at is GBPAUD. Looking at the GBPAUD on the daily, what happened? This structure was taken out. Price ran deep into it and dropped back out. So we might say this is a retest. The move up was a retest of this level. So let's go to our GBPAUD to see what it looks like on the intraday. Well, basically, that was what happened. Just ran up to this extreme and dropped. So now what am I going to do with this pair now? Well, this area is going. This is resistance, this is resistance. Let me get rid of this so I can properly look at that. This upward channel has been broken. So on this pair, the best thing to do is to wait for it to pull back up here. If it pulls back up here and gets rejected, then you may take a short position down to this area. But if you're taking a short position down to that area, you need to bear in mind that he has structure here. There's structure here. Let me change this. Let me change this. Let me change this. There has structure here. Let me lock this down. Okay. Lock this down. Okay. Yep. So, or he may drop because it is closer to this support, and then from here run up to this area. So that's just it. That's just it for the GBPAUD. I can see it's close on the daily, it's not interesting. So I'm actually a bit of a pullback or a drop into this area. If it gives you bullish evidence into this area and takes off, you can then sell it, buy it towards this area. That's just it for the GBPAUD. Next pair we're going to be looking at is the USDCAD. Well, the USDCAD ran into the daily 13 moving average, daily 13 EMA, and that caused him to drop heavy back into this support structure. So for this pair, well, seems I'm seeing something here. I might be seeing something. Something is about to go down on this pair. Yes, said it. This is what I was seeing. This is just what where did this come from? I said I was seeing something here on this pair. Now this is a game plan. So this arrow was from Sunday. I said if he drops into this area, he's going to move up, and that's just what happened. This pair is not one of my favorite pair because it's commodity based, so I don't rule with it that much. So it's just dead there. So now this is the storyline. This man is sitting at support. You don't want to engage a sell on this man. You do not want to do that. The best thing to do for this pair, let me get rid of this, is to wait for him somewhere up here. That's just it. If you might drill to a lower time frame, but he is sitting, this area was created in this up move. He has come to test it. You might see a buy tomorrow towards this area. That's just setting. Except the market breaks this zone, but if they don't, they might move higher. Looking at USD GBPCAD, let's look at the GBPCAD. This is GBPCAD. He's sitting above something. Yes. This area, you see these two places, You see this area? You see this area? Then you see this little zone here. This zone was created from a line chart. So if you look at this, price is sitting above this support structure here. So, but the daily close is not very, very bullish. The daily close is pretty bearish. So, looking at this, I'm on an intraday chart, and you can see I don't normally trade this pair, so it's not basically marked up. But this is what I'm seeing on this pair for now. Let me just mark it up a bit. Using my line chart, I have something here. That's where he is for now. Then the resistance will be coming in probably somewhere around here. So that's just it for this pair. That's just it. Oh, where did that come from? So that's just it for this pair. That's just it for this pair for now. So this is its support, this is its resistance. But he may still run higher. Why do I say he may still run higher? I looked at oil for a friend. And looking at oil, USD oil, it's very, very clear. What I'm looking at is very, very clear on the 4 hour. Oh, what I'm saying about this. Looking at this on the 4 hour, you see this area? Let me see if it goes far back. You see this area? That's where price came to. Come on. No, not this one. This one and this one. Select. You see what oil did? Spiked above this resistance. What are they going to do? They might most likely start dropping tomorrow. They've cleared liquidity here. So should this man start to drop, definitely that will release oil at resistance, USDCAD at support. So just add it up and then you have your answer. Is there any pair anybody will want me to look at? Is there any pair anybody would want me to look at? Just type it in the comment section. Type it in the comment section. Somebody was asking me this afternoon, how do you save a chart? Now, this is your MT4. This is your MT4. You want to take a screenshot. Let's say you've done something here and you want to take a screenshot and send to somebody. What you do is you go to file. When you go to file, you go to save as a picture. When you select save as a picture, what I normally do is I only select active chart as is. I don't, every other stuff is unselected. So I have it here. So what I do, before I do this, I would already have a folder on my MT4 that I've created where I intend to move this chart to. So what do? I click OK. When I click OK, a prompt will come up. Like you can see, I already have this place as assignment. Or you can save it on your desktop if you want to, or you save it as assignment. You give it a different name. I could say EURGBP 10.7.19. Then I click save. When I click save, if I want to save, this is it as a picture. I can edit it, but that's not what I want to do today. So now I want to send this to somebody on Telegram. What do? Let's see. Let me just send this to, let me see. Let me send it here. Let me say I want to send this here. I go to this icon, I select it. This will pop up. It will give me a whole lot of options. This is the folder where I saved it as. I double click on this under assignment. Then I look for that. I must remember what I saved it as. It was EURGBP 10.7.19. This is it. I click open. When I click open, I type in the name I want to, or whatever I want to click. Then I click send. So that's it. Then somebody else was asking, how do you set an alert? So now let's see. Assuming I'm waiting to take a sell position when price gets here, what do? I right click. Is the market open? No, not this one. Assuming I want to take a short position now, let's say this pair now, I want to take a short position, I want to buy when price gets here. What do? I come to this place, I right click, I go to trading, I click alert. If you notice, there's a red arrow here. This red arrow, if I double click on it, let me share my audio, let me share, okay, my computer sound is on. If I click on it, when price gets there, this is what I'm going to hear. It would play every 10 seconds 5 times. But I have different options here I could pick from. Like if I pick news, if it goes, that's what will play. You can, but I like using a song. So that's if you have a song on your laptop, I double click on this area, it will take me to my system. I go to music. When I go to music, I pick any song. I have some songs, depending on what you want to do. You pick any song, you click open. You can test it, or you can just click OK. When you click OK, it's already activated. Now, how do you know where this is? You go to your terminal. When you go to your terminal, you have trade, exposure, account history, news, alert. Under alert, this is it. The deal here is, as long as your laptop is connected to the internet and on, once price gets to this place, the alert that you've used to save it will play. And once it plays, it will alert you to the presence of price coming into that area. Or some people have another app. There's this app they call, forgotten the name. I'll remember the name and let me see. Let me see if I can remember the name. Let me check my phone. It's a phone app. I think they call it call levels. Yes, call levels. You can get that from Play Store and set it on your phone so that once price gets to that level, even if you're not on your laptop, you get an alert and you know what to do. So I thank you all for coming. Thank you all for coming, and I wish you all a beautiful trading day in advance tomorrow. Thank you and good night.